I mean, again, but this is seen as sick, but when the royals are into this stuff, it's seen as loving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we know too that you understand that Kabbalah was very, very high in the Middle Ages, and especially in France and England too. But in France, they have found some of the paraphernalia they used in the royal courts during that time for the king, and they found skinned babies. You know, the skin of the babies. Were there. That was, again, a rejuvenation thing. If you wore the skin of a youth, and it went through this ritual, it supposedly restored youth to them, that's what they believed. And of course, the chalice for the blood and all the rest of it. So they've always been into this kind of thing. They've been fascinated with, when you're up there in power, you've got nothing to go for but more power and immortality. And this is part of the Kabbalistic rituals they went into right through into King Louis XVI. Yeah.
Why is Prince Charles now making such a big deal about he's a Transylvanian and he's got a house there, Vlad the Impaler's old house, and he loves it?
He's a trans something, but I wouldn't go too far with it. But Charlie is a numbskull too, and he's really pretty stupid. I mean, even at school, I talked to one of his headmasters once, and he said the same thing to me. And but Charlie had no purpose for a long, long time. He said that he is descended from David. He said he was an Olympian from the old gods of the Olympics, and there's a secret society too. And he was defender of faith, the faith, which is Christian faith, and he changed it to defender of all faiths. And now he's trying to say that he's Transylvanian. What they're trying to make out is that their ancestors were Saxon people or Prussian people that once dominated Transylvania as well as one of their biggest states. In reality, it's Saxe, Coburg, Gotha are the three main houses they come from. They were Prussian, German states, basically.
Yeah.
They were all from the same family, interbred. And eventually, in the 1800s, in the early 1800s, in fact, 18th century, I should say, they brought in merchants, very rich merchants, and they married into them. They became the dominant strain.
Stay there. We'll be right back. Stay right there. I want to talk more about that with Alan Watt and a lot more. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. This holiday season, more than half of our nation is in need of help due to the shattered economy. So now is the time to express the holiday spirit more than ever. Consider helping those you love with the most important gift, a supply of delicious, easy-to-fix, and very storable foods from eFoodsDirect.com. Their holiday gift and family packs start at $99 for a 16-day supply. While their 5-week supply of quick and easy-to-fix meals includes a personal backpack in case of a grab-and-go emergency. Order their combo gift pack, and you'll save hundreds, plus get free shipping on your entire order. Call eFoods today at 800-409-5633 or visit them online at eFoodsDirect.com/Alex to find the special. That's 800-409-5633 or eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct. A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones. I'm looking for people that have the wisdom to spot savings, opportunity, and recognize risk. Saving means to make money. The Cow Ben Pure Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated and twice as good as what you're using now. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils that contain no useless dyes, perfumes, deodorants, or antibacterials. Your risk is the hundreds of hazardous toxic detergents that give you rashes, itching sores, and deteriorating clothing called lint. If you want something better, if you want something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. Getting a free catalog is easy by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Take charge of your health now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. We are back live. Alan Watt, CuttingTheMatrix.com is our guest. And we are bringing you the 4th annual Money Bomb to expand this independent media operation. The nightly news reports that then are put out to the 4 winds of the web after they first air at prisonplanet.tv. We are having just a giant effect thanks to your support, and the donations are really starting to pour in right now. We've gotten up to about $300,000. We haven't quite updated that yet, and it'll really help us expand. So I want to thank all of you. InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. I mean, where can you say that by spreading the word about a show or supporting us or donating, that who can you say out there is having a bigger effect out of all the great people that are out there than this transmission? This is also a platform for all those great people that we have on, like Alan Watt. So donate today at InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. I'm getting a little bit of weirdness on my mic here. I don't know what's going on with this, but I'm getting a little bit of that flutter thing it does every once in a while. Or like distortion in my ear. I'm not quite sure, but I might check the board in there and see if something's been changed, or perhaps it's in here. There it stopped. I don't know if people could hear that on air. But we're going to open the phones up, too. It's 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. If you have any questions or comments for Alan Watt. Alan, the reason I keep going back to this is knowing the enemy, knowing the global elite, knowing what they're into. Obviously, I don't believe there's real vampires running around. People have archetypes for all of this where they could say it's vampires, it's reptoids, because, you know, we're saying these aren't humans. They don't act like humans. Psychopaths don't act like humans. But really, they're just, I guess, genetically different. They don't have empathy. In fact, a lot of them enjoy hurting innocent people. But is that, from your research, that's why every culture has these legends of vampires and stuff? And because, well, in a lot of cultures, it wasn't even, I mean, they were doing human sacrifice. They were blood drinking. And you study the elites, they're obsessed with this. And that's why they do the things that they're doing. Alan Watt.
Well, yeah, it's a very primitive thing. It goes way back into ancient times, even when some of the tribes did, and some still do in Africa, drink the blood of the cattle as they move, which is a more practical thing. You understand that. But of course, when it comes into the psychopathic type, they want to stun those they want to subdue. They want to stun them by doing something which terrifies them. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did this in ancient times publicly at times as well, drinking the blood of humans or a sacrifice or something like that. So, but then again, as I say, in the Middle Ages, you had the magic part coming into it from the Eastern Europe and blending with it, and that became very popular in the circles of royalty. And up to the present time, too, there's a lot of strange things to do. I mean, a psychopath has no inhibition. Could understand that. It doesn't matter what culture that they instill upon the people, but they always put a culture on the people and have their managers to manage that culture. Today it's all sociologists that do it for us, you know, and psychologists, and neurologists, and neuroscientists, they call them. So they give us the present culture. They work with industry. They work with the media. They work with all entertainers today, and they have for a long, long time. So, but the psychopath himself doesn't follow that culture except in public for PR shots. He'll seem fairly normal, read scripts. But in private life, they have no inhibitions whatsoever. The laws that apply to the general population never apply to them. They're above the laws. And they can get away with, they actually break a lot of laws and be untouched, because you'll always find, if you go into the law books, royalty cannot be charged or fined for anything. They're above all law. They can only be tried by a peer group, which is other members of royalty. And that's why you're tried by a jury of your peers. Commoners are not the peers of royalty, you see. So they have a completely different way of doing things. But there's nothing new in this whatsoever. There's a famous club in London that's still on the go, I think, and Lord Mountbatten used to take little boys, underage boys, into this club. It was a lot of money to get in at the door, unless you were a member, so it kept the public out of it. Many reporters actually from Fleet Street got in there, and they'd often see Mountbatten sitting with a little boy and getting him pissed drunk, and going up to one of the rooms with him. No one ever reported on that, except one later on years ago. Actually, he did it by word of mouth, but he couldn't report it in Fleet Street, or they'd have been fined, charged. The newspapers would be closed down, actually, if you actually published something like that. So they're above all the things. Now, a psychopath, too, really enjoys all sensations. They flourish on sensations. Whatever drug turns them on, gives them a better high. Whatever, the more weirdest, kinkiest sex they can possibly get, gives them a better high. That's what they live for, is the highs in life, and they jet all over the place to have their little orgies and things like that. But, of course, that's just the nature of the psychopath. Lower-level psychopaths have to put a better show onto the public, pretend they're one of you, but at the top, royalty, apart from the PR shots, they live a completely different lifestyle that you can ever imagine.
And really, that's what modern civilization has become, is a psychopath playground, and they've created the artificial culture, the culture creators, and more are trying to convert a large servant class over to not just do this ritually here and there, but they want to go into mass-scale war, mass-scale death. You or I would look at the video of the 3-year-old girl with her lower mandible blown off, tongue hanging out in absolute panic, and that rips our heart out, rips our guts out. But the globalists, for them, that's beautiful. That's a sensation. That is just grand. And that's why they make the joke, this is peace, ha, ha, ha. It's all about...
Well, they've done many studies with a psychopath, and have wired them up to various electrical equipment to study their brain, including the electromagnetic imaging. And they can actually see what parts of the brain are stimulated or not, or not even touched when they look at different photographs. Psychopaths don't have a horror. They don't have recoil with horror at gruesome pictures. There's a neutral image in the brain. Sexual things, so on, like that. Even torture might turn them on. But things which shock most people has no actual response.
Well, I believe it's healthy and normal to recoil from all that. But then there's a place in good people where I wouldn't enjoy it, but I do have a compulsion in my mind that these people need to be routed out. I'm somebody who wouldn't hurt a flea, but when I see the globalist, I have an overwhelming drive to see him hang high. And of course that's a natural instinct. They're trying to get that out of the general public, so we'll just sit here and take it. As a father, as a human, as a warrior, as a guardian, nothing special, just a man. I have absolute, total energy, even though I'm exhausted right now, just thinking about these